Taurus, welcome to my channel. Taurus, we're here to take a look at what's coming your way over the next few days. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I welcome you here. Thank you for stopping by today. And for those of you returning tourists, I can't speak today. For those of you returning tourists, I welcome you back and thank you for your ongoing support. All right, Taurus, this is a general reading meant for the collective. So if you find that these messages don't necessarily resonate for you, do not panic, Taurus. All that means is you will need to go ahead and make sure that you subscribe so that you're the first to know about your message as it drops over the next few days. All right, Spirit, let's get some wonderful advice, guidance for our lovely Taurus as to what they will see over the next few days. What's coming at my Taurus? I'm going to start with the Oracle cards here, Taurus, and then I will clarify and dig deeper with the tarot. All right, let's get some Oracle card messages on the board for my Taurus. We have live life to the fullest, followed by embrace your power, and then we have be of service. All right, Taurus, what I'm seeing right off the bat here with these messages is, in particularly, I'm drawn to this be of service. You, Taurus, and your lovely, wonderful, caring nature, like that part of you that likes to care for those that you love, that likes to make sure they have everything they need, because it's very strongly ingrained in you that you or no one that you love should have to go without, right? And making people comfortable, making them feel at home, making them putting their concerns and their issues ahead of yours is something that you often find yourself doing for those that you truly love, right? And so I feel like what's coming at you towards you over the next few days is that there will be a situation in which you will be put more strongly into that role, or something will occur that forces you into that role of dropping everything to make sure that the one your person, Taurus, is okay, that they're taken care of, that they have what they need. Like, your person is going to go through some shakeup here that is going to that is going to um shake you up as well. I don't know why I lost my words there. So, in other words, for some of you, that will be straight up being at someone's bedside, okay? And for others of you, it's just a turnaround, quick action turnaround of something happening very quickly that was unexpected. Like when we get into the tarot here, I wouldn't be surprised at all to find the Tower card coming out, because it's that type of energy, that quick kapow, something happens very quickly, okay? God forbid, because I do feel that for some of you, and this is a very specific message, okay? I hate to be like bringing just gloom and doom type message, but I have to tell you straight out what I see here. So for some of you, I do see a situation like a car accident, okay? And for others of you, I do see a situation like someone finding out that they have a medical condition that's very serious, okay? So that's just going to be for a number of you. For others of you, this is talking about being thrust into a situation that you are stretched to your limits taking care of someone else. Like they often say, like when, you know, people who find themselves caring for an elder as they get older and have very serious health conditions, people always say, you know, that the caregiver has to be careful about their health because they can end up finding themselves in a situation where they are just at their wits end, both physically and mentally exhausted, right? And so that's the type of energy that I'm seeing here, just being thrust into a situation where you're putting someone's needs ahead of your own, Taurus. And because of that, you're now, you know, things have just shifted around very differently for you, and you're not living life to the fullest, because you can't even imagine what living life to the fullest means when someone that you care about very greatly is in the situation that your loved one finds themselves in, right? But this really is a situation where you're going to have to embrace your power, and the word boundaries keeps coming up here for me. And that doesn't mean ignoring the one that you care about. It's okay to have boundaries in what you can do. Like what can you do for your person, Taurus, and still be able to maintain your own life, right? Like if you throw down all your responsibilities and rush to the side of someone else, then you find yourself in a very out of balance situation quickly that starts to drain you. And if both of you are drained, who can help the other? You know, so that's what this is talking about, not allowing an imbalance of great proportions to occur in your life, Taurus. Being able to stand in your power, know when you need to take a break, to take time and care for yourself and your own issues, your own concerns, your own priorities, and knowing when you have the support you need to step forward and be there for someone else. Okay. So that's what these messages are talking about for us. Let's go ahead and dig in and clarify these messages with the tarot. All right. So let me shuffle some more here while I ask Spirit to put some messages on the board for my lovely Taurus. Let's dig in deep, Spirit, and give Taurus some very clear details regarding what is coming, what they should do. I mean, I think they gave us some clear direction there with the Oracle. Would you not say that, Taurus? But let's dig in deeper. All right. While I take a moment to finish shuffling here according to Spirit's word, this is a perfect time for you, Taurus, if you haven't already, to go ahead and click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that when your messages drop again over the next few days, you're able to be the first to know. I got cards flying. I'm not taking any jumpers right now, but what that's also telling me is it's a confirmation back to the messages we've already had here, Taurus. There's a lot of shake and bake energy coming your way over the next few days. All right. Our first message comes by way of the Hermit in reverse, followed by the Seven of Wands. Next, we have the Four of Wands, followed by the Fool in the reverse. Next, we have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, followed by the Three of Swords. Didn't want to see that, Taurus, but I see where this is all leading as the story here unfolds. All right. First, we have the Hermit in the reverse and the Seven of Wands. And you know what? And I noticed as I was probably halfway through laying these cards out that when I put my oracle cards back up here for you guys, they're not in the order that I drew them, which is interesting, but nothing happens by mistake. So, with this be of service and coming out here, the Hermit in the reverse, as well as the Seven of Wands, what I'm seeing here is again, we're talking about the situation as the Oracle brought up about someone being uh, needing assistance, right? And so your person needing assistance of some sort in which you're being called to be of service to put their needs ahead of yours. And so even for some of you here that find yourself in a situation where you are currently in hermit mode with someone, so maybe someone that the relationship's been wonky, or even for some of you, the relationship has come to an end, but they are still your person. You know what I mean, Taurus. They're still your person, but you two are not on speaking terms. Well, this would call for you to go into hermit of reverse mode in order to be there for them, for you to put your defenses down. But it's also with the Seven of Wands, I'm seeing instead of this standing for the defensive type energy, which it normally typically stands for, I'm seeing it as this figure fighting for theirs, fighting for those they love, fighting for what they desire, fighting to make a way for things to happen. And so that's what this be of service energy here that you're being called upon is all about. And when I say you're being called upon, you're not being called upon by spirit to be these things. You're being called upon by your person to be these things. So don't mistake the two, is what I'm getting, because spirit is not setting up a situation for you to do these. This is not spirit driven, this whole scenario. And this person, and either this person choosing you to be the one to help them, or you seeing this person in that situation and deciding to say, to help them, to be there, to be the caregiver. Okay. Moving on to the Four of Wands. And many of you are doing this as live life to the fullest, right? Like, this is me being in the fullness of who I am. Me, Taurus, I'm there for those that I love, and everyone's going to know. And that's going to lead me, not, and this isn't a conscious thought, but that's going to lead me to this stabilization in my life, stability, having the home life that I want. If I am there for those who I love, then those I love will provide these things for me, right? And this is a little bit of reckless thinking, and it's in, for many of you, this is very much rooted in the subconscious. So these may not be conscious thoughts that you're having, but there's a subconscious script playing in your mind, the one that I just laid you. I live life to the fullest. I provide for those who I love, and they provide for me in return. Not everyone does that. This is a, with this Fool in reverse. This isn't hopefulness. This isn't pure clean thought. This is a little bit of a reckless thought. Okay, so it's time to examine what those subconscious scripts are that are playing in the back of your mind that in turn lead to what you end up doing in your physical waking world. All right, so there's some self-examination being called for here, Taurus, because if anything about this whole situation with this person and the predicament that they find themselves in coming up here, if any of that has any spirit led type of action around it, it would be that spirit is pointing out to you what you need to change in your thinking, in your priorities, in your planning, right? So, yes, Taurus, I believe we should all be nice, lovely people. But again, remember back here in the oracles where Spirit was talking about boundaries. That's also very important. All right. And it's important to keep that in mind because as we look forward to the outcome here of this situation, we have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Like many of you, those of you that I spoke about a few moments ago, who maybe this isn't your current lover, but this is someone who you're in separation from, or maybe this is someone who you're straight up not with, but you still think of them as your person, you know, this is like breadcrumbing at the most. So, yes, they're going to call on you. Yes, they want to lean on you, Taurus, because they find themselves in a situation where they need someone. They find themselves in a situation that they're afraid of what the outcome could be. They find themselves in a situation where things feel out of control in their life at the moment and they have no stability and they understand, sorry for bumping the camera, how stable you are, right? Your body makes them feel strong. So, yes, they're leaning towards you. They're leaning towards you. However, when it's all said and done and things get better for them, what is their stance going to be towards you? Nah. All right, Taurus, it was nice. Thank you so much for your help. I'm going to go back over here now and hey, I'll check you out in a few days. That's what their stance is going to be. All right. And then unfortunately, you find yourself in pain because not that you feel, not that you're tying your efforts directly to what you expect from that person, but you do expect more in the outcome. You expect more. Like, I did this for you. I did this out of the goodness of my heart, and you can just turn around and go back to business as usual. Really? Really? So that is why Spirit's coming through with a message of embrace your power. Understand that yes, you can give to this person if that's what you truly wish to do, but do so in a very balanced way, in a way that when all is said and done, you won't feel like the loser. Because if you come from a balanced place, you check in, you make sure that that person's okay, you check on their condition, you know, you do the things that are necessary, right? To make you feel as if you've participated. Then when that person goes back to whatever it is their stance is before that, you know, walking away, off to their own quarter, off to their own adventures, you don't feel so butthurt about it, right? Because you were just being a decent person who would do what decent people do. You're not doing it with this stability in mind, with this reunited in mind, with this reconciliation happening, right? You're not doing it from the space of all of your heart, right? And so, you know, okay, I did what a decent person does, and I can feel proud about that, no matter what their stance is, right? Because their stance will be to go back to their corner, all right? And when all the scary stuff's done, then it's like, oh, thank you, Taurus. Talk to you later. Thanks for the good time. If the table were turned and you were the one laying on the table, would they do that? Would they be there for you? Would they be at the hospital round the clock? Would they be, you know, spooning soup into your mouth and not eating themselves? Would they be doing these things? Would they put their entire life on hold for you? Right? Well, I can tell you from the spread here, the answer is no, but let's dig in a little deeper and get some closing messages from the Kipper deck. So, Spirit, let's send Taurus out the door. I think you gave some very clear direction for my lovely Taurus people. But any other closing thoughts you want them to leave with, please? Let's get that now. And if you haven't already hit the subscription button, Taurus, this is a good time to do so. We have Privileged Lady, followed by Concern, Bad Health. Can it get clearer? Oh my God. Thank you for the confirmation, Spirit. Spirit's like, let me make this plain. Privileged Lady, my feminines are, it just doesn't have to necessarily be a feminine, but so if you're a masculine Taurus, this goes for you. Or if you're a masculine Taurus who is involved with feminines, this is that feminine. So, Taurus, you, this upstanding, lovely person that you are, you, this very caring, kind, beautiful soul who takes care of herself or himself and your surroundings. You see the lovely home in the background, which you can only see a small part of because Taurus, even if you don't have a grand estate, that's always what you're building towards, right? That type of lusciousness in your environment. So, you, Taurus, and all your Taurus loveliness and your great concern, like, look at this person, older, let's make the assumption that he's older and wiser and he's sitting down in great concern. So your concern comes not only from a place of looking at, oh my God, this situation, this what happened here for my person is horrible, but the deep thinking, the analyzing, if this happens, then this happens to them. If they don't get this will happen to them. Like, you have thought through from every avenue, or you will, I should say, because these are messages of things to come. You will think through every avenue of what your person needs, what their situation is. Like, you'll analyze it from every level. Like, that's the deep concern here. And for many of you, it will be bad health. Remember earlier when I said car accidents possible, or some type of traumatic health event that takes place. So for many of you, this will be something that physically your person. And I'm sorry to bring that to you. For others, this will be something that affects their health in other ways, like their mental health. So the stress, the strain. So think about things like great financial upheavals and the stress and the strain, and seeing your person starting to come apart mentally, emotionally because of that. All right. So these types of things. Or the physical strain of some type of bad habit like drinking or drug use has on them, that winds them up in a serious set of circumstances to which they are challenged to recover. Okay, so these are the type of situations that I'm seeing for your person here, Taurus. um, Normally, if I saw stuff like this in a general spread, I would say that this is a very specific message. But in today's message, I feel there's nothing specific about it. I do feel this is a message for the collective. All right. So, Taurus, again, let me remind you to embrace your power, and in doing so, setting correct so you don't end up in a situation that this person goes back to their bullshit and once they're healed and you end up in pain. All right. Keep up your boundaries. It's possible for you to get through this in the best way. It's possible for you to not only care and be of service to the person, um, your person, but while of service, observing your boundaries and taking care of yourself so that you know you're being a decent person, but you're also allowing others, like, you can't be the only one caregiving for this person. There are doctors, there are nurses, there are counselors, there are other people out there. And so you just make sure you're putting in a percentage of the help needed or the care needed, and that others who are equipped to take on the majority of the heavy lifting are there to do so as well. All right, so that you aren't worn out and heartbroken when it's all over. All right, Taurus, I wish you the best of luck. I really, really do. And until next time, take care of yourselves.